You might think you've seen every story football has to offer. But hold on. What I'm about to show you isn't just another stat chase. This is a changing of the guard in the Champions League era. A saga decades in the making, and a pursuit that could rewrite European football history forever. Today, we dive deep into how Kylian Mbappé, one of the purest scoring machines on the planet, is chasing down the greatest goal-scoring record in UEFA Champions League history, the one held by Cristiano Ronaldo. And believe me, what's coming might shock even the most die-hard football fan. Let's start with the magnitude of what Ronaldo achieved. Cristiano Ronaldo is not just a name. He's a phenomenon in the Champions League. Across his storied career, he scored an extraordinary 140 goals in UEFA's elite competition, more than any other player in history. That number is more than Messi, more than Lewandowski, and more than all legends who ever graced Europe's grandest stage combined. Think about that for a moment. 140 goals. That's countless defenders beaten, goalkeepers humiliated, and seasons of pure dominance against the best clubs in the world. He repeated as top scorer 7 times in the competition and even holds the record for most goals in a single Champions League season. 17 in 2013-14. But here's the part that makes the story exciting. Ronaldo's record stood for over a decade as one of the untouchables in football, until now, because entering this picture is Kylian Mbappé, a player who, at 26 and now 27, has already carved out a legacy most players dream of their entire careers. Mbappé isn't just chasing Ronaldo's tally, he's chasing every limit we thought was fixed. And right now, he's roaring down the track like a freight train. Let's break down the facts, the cold, hard stats that show exactly how close Mbappé is, and how real this chase has already become. As of the 2025-26 season, Kylian Mbappé has scored over 60 Champions League goals already. And get this, he reached that mark in far fewer matches than Ronaldo ever did. Where Ronaldo took 98 games to reach 60 UCL goals, Mbappé hit that mark in just 89 games. That's 9 games fewer. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's elite, sustained, historic excellence. And if you think that's impressive, hold on. Mbappé didn't just score goals, he annihilated records along the way. In the 2025 and 26 Champions League season alone, he's been nothing short of sensational. By matchday 5, he already had 9 goals, leading the competition's top scorer race with ease. Some of those goals came in stunning fashion, including one of the fastest hat-tricks in competition history. For goals in one game, a hat-trick in under 7 minutes. Moments like these are the stuff of legend. But to understand the full scope of this story, we cannot just talk numbers. We have to talk narrative. Because when Cristiano Ronaldo blazed into the Champions League at the start of his career, he wasn't just scoring goals. He was rewriting what was possible. The way he struck the ball, the way he dominated defenders, the way he consistently delivered under pressure, that was mastery. He scored in finals. He performed on the biggest nights in the sport. Every season he was a threat to score 10 or more goals every season. Now imagine, for nearly 15 seasons, Ronaldo stood alone atop that mountain. No challenge serious enough to topple him. No one breathing on his records. That is until Mbappé came onto the scene. From the moment he first stepped onto a Champions League pitch as a teenager with Monaco, people whispered about his talent. They said he was special, but even the most optimistic scouts could not have predicted this pace. Mbappé's rise was meteoric, from Monaco to Paris Saint-Germain, and finally to the grandest club in Europe, Real Madrid. That's where the story gets even juicier, because at Real Madrid, Mbappé's goal-scoring exploded even more. Not only did he overtake club legends in scoring milestones with stunning speed, but he also began eclipsing comparisons to the very player he idolized, Cristiano Ronaldo. In 2025 alone, Mbappé scored a mind-blowing number of goals, 66 in the Champions League, ranking him 6th all-time and closing in on Real Madrid's historical charts. That's only 5 goals behind club legend Raúl, and a huge position in the all-time Champions League list. Every goal Mbappé scores is another step closer to the summit Ronaldo set so high. And unlike earlier in his career, he's not just creeping up on the tallies. He's threatening records nobody ever expected to be in danger. And here's something that should get every football fan's heart racing. In 2025 and 26, Mbappé nearly broke Ronaldo's group stage record for most goals before the knockout rounds, a record Ronaldo held for more than a decade. Mbappé matched it and could yet surpass it with one more game. That's right, this isn't just talk anymore. Mbappé is already smashing bits and pieces of Ronaldo's benchmarks before the big one, the all-time goal record. So let's ask the big question. Can Kylian Mbappé actually beat Cristiano Ronaldo's all-time Champions League goals record? And the only honest answer we can give right now is yes. And there's real evidence to back it up. Not only has Mbappé been scoring at an unprecedented rate for his age, but he's also doing it in the toughest competitions in world football. He's performing against Champions League elites night after night, not padding stats against weak opponents. And crucially, he's doing it consistently season after season. Let's put this in perspective. When Ronaldo was 26, he had already become a force, but he wasn't anywhere near 140 goals yet. Mbappé, by that same age, has already cracked the top 6 all-time scorers list. Think about that. One of the greatest players in modern history, met at his own game by an even younger generation star. That's not just numbers, that's storytelling. Now, I want you to hold on because this next part is where the narrative gets even deeper. This isn't just a stats rivalry. This is a passing of the torch moment in football history. Fans across generations are watching as Mbappé steps into a role once held exclusively by Ronaldo. The way Mbappé generates chances, the speed with which he finishes, it's like he's taking a page from Ronaldo's playbook and then writing his own chapter on it. And now here's the part that will get people talking. If Mbappé maintains his current goals per game pace, if he stays healthy, and if Real Madrid continues to go deep in the Champions League every season, we could be watching something unprecedented. A new all-time UCL goals leader by the end of the decade. Think about what that means. Cristiano Ronaldo's record has stood for years. It's one of those benchmarks people assumed would never be touched. And yet here we are in 2026 talking about a man who could soon stand above the record books. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a long way to go. Ronaldo scored goals over a career spanning 15+ seasons in the Champions League. Mbappé still has to do that to be consistent, season after season under pressure, across managerial changes, injuries, tactical shifts, and the unpredictability of knockout football. Yet what makes Mbappé's challenge so real is this. He's already exceeding expectations and sampling the elite level of goal scoring far earlier in his career than Ronaldo did. He's already beaten legends like Thierry Henry and Thomas Muller on the all-time Champions League list. He's scoring hat-tricks and breaking records for fastest multi-goal games. He's leading scoring charts in the current UEFA Champions League season. He's doing real damage every time he steps onto that pitch. And here's the final punch. Football isn't just about goals. It's about legacy. Who will be remembered? Who shaped the narrative of the Champions League in the modern era? Ronaldo's legacy is untouchable. His 5 UCL trophies, his starring performances in finals, his influence on generations, that is cemented in history. But Mbappé's legacy is still being written. And if he continues this trajectory, history might look back and call this moment the dawn of a new legend. A man chasing the impossible and threatening to surpass something previously thought immortal. So I'll ask you this, when Mbappé finally overtakes Ronaldo's Champions League goal record, will football fans see it as the end of an era or the beginning of a new one? Because if history teaches us anything, it's this: records are made to be chased, but only legends get to break them.